Welcome back to more of Hannah showing off the goods, at least as much as she's allowed to by the censors. Welcome back to more Fear Effect. Today, we're revisiting a place of Hannah's past. She's already mentioned having a history with the bitch who runs this place. And my understanding...
You! Get back to work!
Yes, sorry.
My understanding is that the girls working here are forced to. It's not like they're just normal prostitutes. As we're walking around, you'll notice these enemies won't attack us. As long as you don't take out a weapon, you're good. They'll let you by. There are a few situations where we're going to have to take out some of them, though. And then some more where I'm just going to choose to at a certain point. So I hear that apparently her butt does a wiggle while she's walking. I didn't really notice it. I guess she does. That's kind of an interesting little detail that they put in there. So I'll get faster at walking around in this section later on. I'm still getting to know the area at this point.
Now quick moves there, Sheila. Hannah? Jeez, nice shoes.
Not now, Deke. Laminus men are all over the place. They've got Wei Ming.
So we get glass and bugger out then, eh?
Negative. We're gonna get Wei Ming first.
This is still business, right, love?
Not anymore, Deke.
Hey, what are you doing?
Wrong room. Sorry.
Come on, out, now!
How did Deke disappear behind the door that quickly? If you look to our right, you'll see a TV screen with a woman on there doing some dance moves. You're going to need to notice that for a puzzle later on. I wish I could have got a better view of it. There's a better camera angle that shows that off, but I wasn't aware of that at the time. That's what you're getting. So unfortunately, now we got to play as Deke for a little bit. Don't worry too much about ammo. I say unfortunately, not that I dislike Deke, just that I was enjoying the beauty that was Hannah. They've clearly made her the star of the game for the most part. We've played as her more than we have anybody else. But don't worry about ammo with Deke. It's not a big deal. You'll want to conserve as much as you can, just in the sense that you don't want to run out while doing this segment, but we're not going to need to worry about ammo after this segment for Deke. The next time we see him, he won't have the ammo he's got on him now anyways. So I guess you could say he loses all his weapons after this part. I do kind of like that. She's got a personal interest in this. She wants to save these girls, or mainly Mei Wing, who we'll find out later is not even 18 yet. It's only a minor spoiler. It's not important to the plot. So I'm so glad that I was not making pervy comments about her, because I would have felt really, really bad. Even though, for all I know, in China, I'm sure the age of consent could be lower. Who knows? I don't know anything about China, so I'm not going to claim to. But I like that we're basically doing the moral thing because Hannah wants to do this, and Hannah has a personal interest in this. She does not like Madame Chen, and she doesn't like what she does to these girls. Which is why I feel like these girls are forced into this. They're not doing this by choice. You could ask, I guess, do any prostitutes do that by choice? But I would assume some of them do. Sometimes it's desperation because they have no other source of income, but I get the feeling these are sex slaves and not prostitutes. And the only reason they're wearing anything at all is because of censorship. Although you would think we would see more of them running around. We haven't seen any so far. Right, this puzzle, you just gotta copy the moves of that dancer in that video. I know I'm not doing a walkthrough, but if you do what I do here, you'll make it through. It would have been nice to see more prostitutes, walking around doing their thing.
Hello.
Also, it would have been nice to see more sex rooms. We'll see a few rooms that I'm assuming were used for sex, but given that this is more of a sex slave thing, you'd think they would be going for some more risque stuff. Although the motif of this area looks like we might be in some sort of a dungeon thing, so they might have that yet. Do you think you'd see some more torture rooms? Not that I would want anything like that to happen to any of these girls. I'm just saying, you would think that you would see stuff that would cater more towards people who are into more illegal things. Die, motherfuckers. So we're doing this basically because Hannah has a personal interest in this whole situation. And I kind of like that. It gives us a reason to be doing this, yet we're playing as these morally gray characters. At the very least. They could be even worse than that. I'm not really sure. It sounds like they've killed a lot of people, and we're mowing a lot of people down here. To be fair, the people that we're mowing down here are mostly in self-defense, although we are the ones breaking in. However, there are girls being held here as slaves, so technically we're trying to at least save one of them, so technically we're doing the right thing. Technically. Probably not, but technically. It's ultimately for a noble purpose. I'll just say that. And this is a section of the game, as you can tell already, where absolutely nothing interesting happens ever throughout this video. Although we do get Hannah in a bikini for a fair portion of it, so that's always nice. Unfortunately, we don't have that right now. But I do like that we're playing as these morally gray characters. Most characters in games are the heroic types. I think of the Resident Evil series where, except for a few moments where you play as Ada, you're pretty much playing as characters who are trying to do the right thing, save the world, which is great. I'm not knocking that. But it's kind of interesting to be playing as characters who are kind of forced into the situation more than anything else. Hannah, not so much at this point. She's doing it purely on her own will. And we'll see she does care about the other girls in here. She doesn't want to hurt them either, which is good of her. The only game I can think of where you played as somebody who was not a hero would have been Kratos in the God of War series. That guy was almost straight up evil. Not quite. I wouldn't call him straight up, well, more indifferent than anything else. Yeah, I wouldn't call him straight up evil. There aren't too many situations where I can think of where you just murder an innocent person for no reason. You would usually just stand there and let them get killed. Except the boat captain. That was a dick move on his part. Right, this area can be a pain in the ass. First part, not so much. Just kill these guys. Problem for me, but that's because I can't aim. But if you can aim in this game, then that shouldn't be a problem for you. So there's steam. You've got to get this in just the right spot, or you take damage, possibly get killed. I don't know if it's a one-hit kill or not. So we do that, and we get a key for our efforts. Hooray! Ah, look at me just spoiling things. We don't really learn a whole lot about these characters throughout this journey. More about Hannah than anything else, but she's clearly the star of this game. One could almost wonder why you play as the other characters at all, but I don't mind it. I don't mind these characters. And they don't strike me as full-on evil. They just seem like they get hired to do a job and they'll do it. But we really don't know much about them. I don't know if they're just thieves, or if they're mercenaries of some sort, or if they would take a job being hired to kill somebody if they were offered it. I do know they've killed a lot of people, not just in this game, but throughout their past. That's something we'll hear a discussion on later on this game. There's an interesting cheat. Oh, this is funny. You only see a few seconds of it, but look at this guy. Yeah, he's just going to run around in circles there. I can't shoot him. He can't do anything but bug out. I have to move forward in order to actually get around that. And now we're going to get a shit ton of guys. Holy fuck. This is a gauntlet. I think what you're supposed to do is sneak through here without getting detected and go ahead and get through the door we're going to, but you've seen my stealth skills. They don't work so well. However, we're here now. Oh. Something bad seems like it's going to happen to Deke, and Glass has been put in the middle of another shit situation to start out. I don't know why they start him out in so many sections immediately confronted by enemies. With these type of controls and camera scheme, which I do like, I feel like they really need to give you some time to orient to where you're at before doing that. Now, I've noticed so many situations in this game where it's not very intuitive. You'll exit a cutscene, and you should be facing the enemy you need to shoot, and you're just facing a completely different direction. And this was really poor enemy placement. Dick move by the game. I'm pretty sure this game was the 2000 version of The Evil Within, and that it's incredibly frustrating and didn't need to be so. Although I think it is designed to be a hard game, it's just, I don't think it necessarily needed to be as difficult if the game was fleshed out just a little more. And I say all this, I do actually like this game. It's kind of a weird anomaly. And that I like it and kind of hate it a little bit at the same time, but mostly like it. Especially since I could use cheats, I like it. The sequel does not have hand cheats. So if I play that one, I'm gonna hate that one. Assuming it's as hard as this game. I suppose they could have been nicer and not made it as difficult, but that's probably not the case. And I hear the writing is significantly worse. And the writing for this game isn't exactly Shakespeare. It's enjoyable. It's a solid story for a PS1 game. This is far before the day and age of stories of games like The Last of Us, but I do enjoy it.
Oh, please, don't hurt me. I beg you. Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you want. Please.
So this was your secret, huh? Where's the girl?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
Take your things and get out before you get hurt.
Right, this is an interesting boss fight. I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this legit. This guy will pop up on the left and right hand sides of this bed, and he's just firing wildly. You'd think he'd run out of ammo at some point. And yes, if you saw that little target, you can shoot the prostitute. Sex slave, whatever. And if you shoot her, then you get killed. I'm not sure why he cares about her, considering he was threatening to kill her anyways. That is a dick move on Glass's part. She didn't do anything to justify threatening her like that.
Everybody gets one chance with me. If I see you again, I'll kill you. Think you can extort me, Mr. Glass? Come between me and my daughter? Separate me from my flesh? Well, Mr. Glass, how does it feel to be separated from yours?
Absolutely nothing interesting happens in this video ever. Nope, nothing interesting at all. So, Glass is at least missing a hand, if not dead. And we don't know what happened to Deke, but we know he definitely got put in a situation. So it's reasonable to assume that we're left with nothing but Hana in a bikini here, which is not a bad way to go, actually. We're going to learn something interesting about her later on. Which I only noticed after watching the cutscene. Actually did commentary for this once already, and then noticed I hadn't even opened Audacity to record it yet. I've ended up doing a lot of commentary today. I plan on doing an Evil Within video with a friend of mine later on today. That's the plan anyways. We'll see if it happens. And now my text thing just went off, so I assume she's ready to do that. So we gotta hurry this along, but I don't want to hurry too much because we've got Hana in a bikini. So we need to kill this guy because he has a key. The goal was to stealth him here. That was the goal. Didn't happen. I'm going to try stealthing a couple more people, and it's going to go about that well. I don't mind the idea of stealth being a mechanic, but man, do I wish that one, it was implemented a little bit better, and two, I was better at it. But I have no depth perception with a game like this at all. So that causes me some troubles. But as you notice, for the most part, these dudes will just let you be if you don't have weapons equipped. But you need to kill that guy. At some point, I'm going to say fuck this noise and start shooting them all.
Wei Ming? Wei Ming! I'm looking for Wei Ming. Go on, get out! Save yourselves.
I should have just kept walking around like normal. Well, Hannah, that was excessive. But as you can see there, she does care about these girls because she knows what they went through because she was one of them. It's already been hinted at that something was amiss with Hana. I wanted to stealth this guy, that didn't work. I should have just cycled through my weapons to a gun and then just shot him. Actually, what I should have done is just not take out a weapon at all. That's what I should have done, but, well, what are you going to do? You can see my lack of depth perception here. Yep. Tried swiping at him a couple times and missed, and figured I'd just cut most of that battle since we just saw one of them. Just me sitting there swiping at him. Him shooting at me. It's not really that interesting. Huh? Alright, so we come in here. And we're picking up an item for a puzzle we're going to do later. Oh, look, a flower. It's so beautiful. Not as beautiful as pixelated, cartoony Hana. Oh, yeah. You can't even blame me for being a perv in this game, considering the game does it for me. And I hear the sequel is even worse in terms of the way they treat these characters. At least the female characters. So that's something that I'm not going to be attempting anytime soon.
Nuh-uh.
I do wish we saw more girls walking around, or at least had some locked doors where you could hear sex moaning going on in the background, so that there was a little bit more life to this place. But I'm sure they did what they could. It's just weird because this place feels kind of dead, even though we're seeing a bunch of goons walking around. That's all we're getting. We're not hearing much of anything else. If you get closer to the restaurant, you'll hear background noise. But other than that, there's not really any background audio going on. Just this music, which gets really repetitive and old. I do like that part of it reminds me a little bit of Siphon Filter, but other than that, there's not really much to this. And since you have to listen to it for an extended period of time, especially when you're trying to figure out what the hell to do, and then especially when you have to end up recording it and then editing everything, it can get annoying. Right. I'm trying to remember what we're doing now. I recorded this all on Sunday, and it's Wednesday now. Hopefully this will be up today. Although that friend of mine and I, if we do Evil Within commentary, our Skype conversations can go on for a while, so that might not be the case. Save your game here. I would go with your weapons unequipped for this part. Well, actually, no, you're probably better off having a gun equipped. There's a guy we gotta kill. You can't stealth him, so yeah, you're better off doing it this way. And kill him. If you go in there with the gun unequipped, he will leave you alone, but he'll block your path until you kill him. Right, this puzzle, I don't truly understand what the hell you're supposed to do. I didn't know you could move these things, nor how to move them. But all the positive stuff, the white vase, the fresh flowers goes on the left, and your black vase that's cracked, your wilted stuff goes on the right. That's how you do that.
Deke? Deke!
I know you.
No. You used me.
Mayun? Oh, yes. Sweet Mayun. My child, you've returned after all these years.
Mayun is dead. You killed her when you brought me here. What have you done with Wei Ming?
She's left with her father.
This cannot be true.
Wei Ming, in time I hope to tell you the truth.
You used this evil pact with Yim Lao Wang to bring you wealth and power. But me?
You don't scare me.
No. How about now?
No.
You were foolish to return, Mayun.
Oh. Absolutely nothing interesting happens this video. Nothing. So, Madam Chen is a demon of some sort. That's interesting. They don't specify which one. I assume her name is not Madam Chen. And apparently she can turn people into monsters, so why she didn't just turn Hana into one, I have no idea. I don't know if it's a proximity thing, you gotta crush somebody's spirit in order to be able to do it. They don't really explain that. And I assume since Hana found the courage to leave, that obviously her spirit would have been revived a little bit. As she's had moments of freedom, even if she is a bit colder now. And unfortunately, these monsters will not be fooled by our ruse, and they will attack you regardless, so you just have to kill them. This couldn't be a totally non-action section. The gunplay is kind of interesting in this game. It in some ways feels a bit free since you're only hitting one button to fire, but in some ways feels kind of harsh if you're not aiming just in the right spot at an enemy. Sometimes I feel like I'm looking towards them enough and the target thing doesn't come up. Oh, great, more of these things. You're probably better off tucking and rolling and trying to get to that door and just leaving, if I'm being honest. So I like the idea of a one-button fire, but I wish that the audio targeting was a little bit better. Wouldn't necessarily need to be a full-on. If you have your back to an enemy, they would turn around, although I wouldn't mind that. Resident Evil did that a little bit. But something a little more than what we got would be helpful. And a nice improvement for the game. I like that you can walk and fire your guns. I don't know if you can run and fire them. I never tried that. On a random thought, there's also an interesting cheat I never tried for this game. An auto puzzle solution, which is interesting. From my perspective, I've already completed the game. I completed it a couple of days ago. So I never tried that, and I'm not going to put the game back in to try it. I'm curious how that works, though, if it just automatically inputs stuff for you, or if it just automatically has the puzzle solved and go to the next cutscene, or give you the item you're looking for, or whatever. But, unless I'm willing to put the game back in to find out, I'll never know. And I don't care enough to do that. So we're in a backtrack here. And yeah, there's an enemy there, but I got a little turned around in this area, trying to figure out where to go. That was the best way I could think of to edit it. And you're only missing me killing one enemy, so you're not really out anymore.
So, you ready to leave? Help me down from here. I'll give you a discount on my finder's fee. Your old man. I was surprised he didn't finish me off. I think he wants to kill me slowly.
I am sorry.
Is this the work of Satan?
No, not Satan or the devil. In our culture, he is known as Yimla Wang, the king of hell. We believe that when we die, we are sent to hell. Our souls may have to wait years, decades before we are finally granted our moment with Yimla Wang.
That is why you burn offerings to the dead?
Yes, to provide comfort for these souls while they wait. But throughout the ages, the Fongans have made a pact with Yimla Wang. Offerings of paper that should be made real in hell are instead made real on earth. That is how my father has accumulated such great wealth. He truly has money to burn.
And what does Yimla Wang get in return?
Me. 2 weeks ago, my father tried to tell me the truth that I had long suspected. That I was different, that I had a higher power. That on the final hour of the final day of my 18th year on Earth, I will fulfill my destiny. I'm not running away, Mr. Grass. I'm trying to return home. And if I can't find a way back to hell in the next few hours, then there will be no stopping what follows. Mr. Grass? Mr. Grass!
Well, hopefully he's just passed out and not dead. So we're continuing a backtrack. We've got to unfortunately change out of this lovely, lovely outfit and back into Hannah's normal attire. Makes me very sad, but we gotta just enjoy this while we got it. You know, if you're into that sort of thing. Great, just a few more enemies to kill. I do like the attention to detail, mentioning that difference between the devil and Satan, as the devil is pretty much known as Lucifer. There might be a distinction there I'm not aware of. And Satan is supposed to be human nature, not an actual being. Apparently some wankers later on took that term to mean devil. And we're going to get our last moments of this lovely outfit. I'm going to look for this key we're going to get, hoping desperately I can pick it up without doing this, but unfortunately we're going to have to pick up the outfit in order for her to get the key that we're going to need. That's why I'm checking my inventory there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do it. It's not a bad outfit or anything like that. It's kind of weird Deke reacted to her seeing her in this attire, when he had seen her naked earlier in this game. You'd think he'd be less impressed after that. I do think it's funny the whole time we're here, she's running around in a bikini carrying all these different items. And it's just funny to me wondering where she puts all that stuff. She's got a giant assault rifle, handguns, Uzi, I think a shotgun at this point. Fortunately, we're not going too far. We're about done exploring this area. We've got a meat locker key, and now we need to go in there. You can guess that's where Glass is going to be. We've already seen him in there. I don't know what the deal is with that saw sound. Although, given what's happened and the movies that would come out a few years later, that kind of makes a little sense. I don't know if he's dead or just passed out. Well, I know because I've finished the game, but at this point you don't necessarily know. And be ready for a boss fight. That's a thing we're about to get. As soon as I find my way.
I'm very impressed with your audacity, child. Or is it a lack of emotion masquerading as courage? Is that how you can kill so many, Mayun? Be without emotion, like when you used your body to escape me, yes? But poor little Mayun. Jin wouldn't help you leave until he had his taste.
I always thought you were bitch from hell.
Then, as you die, take some small comfort in knowing that you were right.
So you have to protect Mei Wing in this fight. Fortunately, that part's not too difficult. Basically got to kill these enemies that she spawns, and they drop paper that you use on her, which lowers the force field so you can shoot her. It's an interesting idea behind the fight, but I don't think it was executed extremely well. And a lot of edits because it takes me a while. I can't see these things very well, so this fight takes longer than it needs to. Because of my eyesight. So I guess she fucked Jin in order to get Jin to help her escape. That's interesting.
You have no idea the hell that awaits you. The hell that awaits the world once Wei Ming flowers into full potential. Soon you'll know, man. So very soon.
My name is Hana!
I am a perfect mirror, Hana. When they look at me, they see the true evil within themselves. An evil that can no longer be suppressed. An evil given form and purpose. This is a one-way trip, Hana.
I've come this far. Might as well get my money's worth. Why did you suspect Madame Chen?
She knew my father. She never changed. When I found out the truth about his wealth, I figured maybe she was interested in more than money.
Everybody wants something Yimla Wang can offer.
That's what makes him powerful.
But why you?
I do not know yet, but I intend to find out. There are horrors waiting for us here, Hana. I can sense them. I can feel their desire to reach us, to reach me. It's like I'm coming home.
Don't worry, Wei Ming. We'll stay close.
Oh! Wei Ming! Oh! Wei Ming!
Be sure to save your game here. That cutscene was a hint to how to deal with this next section. We got a bunch of disappearing platforms. They can hurt you. If you fail this section, then you fall off into the water and you die. She'll be okay. But we're at the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time as we explore hell.